Welcome everybody. It's nice to see you here tonight at this book reading and book signing. My name is Brenda Duffey and I'm from Florence, Oregon, and I've lived there since 1998. And the last few years my project since I retired has been to write this book called The Peacemaker. And it was actually published last year, but I did a book tour and I went off on tour and talked about my book and realized that the book needed a little bit more editing because it is a self-published book. And so I am actually here to reintroduce my book to the Eugene area as a second edition, but not much different than the first edition. The title of the book is The Peacemaker, and it is a collection of stories from American history. And they're stories that have not necessarily been told before. And the title character is interesting because the title character is basically the theme of the book. It's about a culture that existed since the 11th century in North America that was here when the Europeans came to this country. And it's the story of the loss of that culture and how it declined over the years with the establishment of the American government and the challenges that we have had as a country during the last close to 300 years of our history, because we left out certain principles that were very important in the establishment of the great peace that the man known as the Peacemaker established in the 11th century. He was an Onondaga chief who brought the warring tribes of the Iroquois Confederacy together, and they lasted in peace for over 300 years. And I want to read just 3 important points in time in my book that give a picture of the beginning of the Confederacy, the point at which the Confederacy broke down, and then the point at which the very last remnant of the Confederacy disappeared from western Pennsylvania with the destruction of Corn Planters Village. And that year was a very significant year. There were many other things that were happening in this country in 1964, and they all kind of merged at the same time. And in my opinion, they all were interrelated and set us up for a movement toward the 21st century, where we found ourselves on September 11th, 2001, at a point where we had this defining moment of awareness or awakening, I call it, and a knowledge that we might need to go back to some of the principles of the Peacemaker if our nation and our world really is going to move forward together. So I'd just like to read a little bit from the prologue that talks about the great law of peace, and then a section from the Revolutionary War, which was the point at which the Iroquois Confederacy finally collapsed, and then in 1964 with the destruction of Corn Planters Village in western Pennsylvania. I need my glasses and I don't have them, so.